Like, yeah, I want to use these. I'll use these other tools for my box. So the players.
I don't like the way you said that.
Why, for my box?
I'm going to use these other tools for my box.
Yeah, for my toolbox.
Yeah, I know, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like the way you said that.
Anyways, Queen wishes them good luck. Players are like, all right, fucking did not get any sleep because of the devil assassination attempt. They're like, all right, let's just get this shit over with. Get into the Feywild. No one there. They're like, there's no tree guy here. There's what do now? And so the players, as the obvious good move, they're like, let's just explore the forest. What could possibly go wrong?
Just gonna wander around. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. They got lost a little bit. They were like kind of traversing the Feywild, and they're like, it's just more trees, just more fucking weird rainbow trees and mushrooms and shit, and the fucking grass talks. I don't understand.
This sounds like a good time.
Yeah. But eventually the players ended up...
I don't understand. I don't want to understand.
The players ended up running into a large group of Summer Eladrin and, holding them all at gunpoint, but at bow point, I should say. And basically the players like...
I like the idea that the Eladrin all have Tommy guns. Just stick them up. What?
The players are like, listen, we just got here. We're just travelers. We don't want to make any troubles. And then they point at the barbarian. They're like, him. He's broken all of the crimes in the Feywild. He must be punished. And the player's like, what the fuck? And they turn to the barbarian, who... I don't remember actually if I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this in an earlier podcast, but not in the last recap. But during... in the Dragon City, when I did that festival for the players, this is when Tasha's had come out. And so one of the things in there that I thought was cool is these magic mushrooms that you buy, that the players can find or buy, and they have different effects. But if you have eat two of them, something bad happens. You're like, oh shit, okay. And so, obviously, because, of course, the barbarian's like, I bet I can eat two of these mushrooms that you're not supposed to eat two of. And so the player's like, I don't think that's a good idea, man. And he ate it. And then he just warps out of existence. And the player's like, oh.
Okay.
Where'd he go? Comes back six seconds later, covered and caked in mud and grass and dirt and shit. And so I looked up a bunch of funny things that could happen. He got transported into the Feywild. And because the Feywild time dilation is so different over there, he was in there for 6 months. And so during the 6 months, he just attacked everything, chopped down important trees, killed many innocent Fey folk just because that's what he said his character would do. He's like, I'm gonna conquer this new land. He's like, I have no idea what the fuck happened.
I like that your players are like almost genetically predisposed to acts of fucking terrorists.
Yeah, what the fuck?
They can't not act like fucking terrorists anywhere they go.
Holy shit, why?
I'm calling you guys out. Why are you like this?
Why are you like this? Who raised you?
Because in his mind, he's like, well, listen, I'm a pirate, so pirates like pillage and plunder and shit, so I'm just gonna pillage and plunder this fucking forest land until
That's his excuse? That's all he can come up with? Jesus Christ, dude. He
was a barbarian. He dumped his intelligence. It's fine.
I can't believe that you just Hassan Pikered the shit out of us. He's not a terrorist, he's a pirate.
Yeah, big difference.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so he was trapped in there for 6 months, and he's like, all right, I'm going to conquer the Feywild. He pissed off a lot of people, including the queen of the Sealy court.
Is this all just shit you just like decided?
Should I looked up from the fourth edition book. It was pretty like random spur in a moment, like fun stuff.
Oh my god. Okay.
And so after 6 months of just torturing and like the whole Feywild and wrecking havoc, he teleported back into the material plane. Only 6 seconds. Only 6 seconds difference from when the players saw him disappear to him returning. So he's just been like, oh shit, I'm having another fever dream. I see my friends. He's like, this isn't real. And they're like, dude, what?
This isn't real.
He's like, they're like, dude, did you fall into a mud pit? What happened to you? He's like, so much.
Bro, basically what happened was he had a DMT trip. That's pretty much.
Yeah. The Feywild said, "You ever done DMT?"
And basically, the players went on being like, "Well, this was weird," and then just continued on.
And then just
festival.
ignored it.
Yeah, and meanwhile,
As you do.
the barbarian's just like, he's like touching random like buildings and people and shit, and being like, "This is real. I'm back. I'm back in the material plane."
Man, the NPCs of your realm, Matt, it must have a real hard time accepting your players as as the heroes, as it were.
Not to spoil it, but basically,
That's a
the
hard
barbarian
sales pitch.
He became my world's version of a Tarrasque at the end game. That became his like lore.
Okay, then.
Yes.
Okay.
But so the players are surrounded by all these Eladrin, and they're basically like, him, he's the fucking Goliath asshole who's been wrecking shit for years. we want him dead. And so the players are like, what the fuck did you do, Krug? And he's like, I did a lot of pillaging and murdering and plundering and
I forgot his name was Krug.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Well.
And that's when they're at the image.
Did he bang some fairies at least?
Oh, probably, yeah.
I mean, that's the.
He's like, I probably have some kids around here somewhere.
Probably.
But he, the image of the Sealy Court Queen Tiliana showed up and basically was like, listen, he fucked around way too much in the Feywild and he needs to pay for his penance. He needs to be punished. However, I have a dilemma, and you guys seem pretty capable. And they're like, fuck.
No, not again.
So this is also when I use the MCM, the white tusk orcs, the blue orcs from the book. Because in the Feywild, there's a big thing with like hobgoblins, like taking over territories of the Feywild, like just basically turning it into like the Lion King, the Elephant Graveyard, like desolate land, destroying it, fucking up the forest.
Never heard
So instead of hobgoblins, I just switched it with blue orcs because I wanted to use the blue orcs. Yep. And she's like, "Listen, I need you to get rid of these fucking blue orcs. They're ruining my territory.
I like it. Not orcs, just these blue orcs specifically.
Yeah, these specific blue orcs because Feywild magic turns them blue for some reason.
So what you're telling me is the queen's really racist.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't like them because they're blue. Just like I don't like them because they're green.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, listen, she's like, listen, listen, the rest of you are guilt by association. So if you do this for me, I'll clear your names. And they're like, all right, I guess. And she's like, also the orcs have the wood woad over there. And they're like, all right, well, we have to fucking go to the orcs then. Okay, thanks, Matt.
What? Oh, they needed the fort.
Yeah. Yeah, and the player's like,
why are they here again?
Yeah. what are we doing?
They need to make the not Dragonlance.
Not Dragonlance, yeah.
Yeah. The legally distinct Dragonlance.
Yeah. However, and this is something I got from the 4E book too, where a lot of like punishments for like breaking rules and laws are not like as simple as like a slap on the wrist. So for Krug, because he's a barbarian, he's very violent. The queen of the Sealy Court was like, all right, so you like fighting, you like battling, you like winning, you like victory. How about this? You have to go and challenge the chief of the blue orcs, and you have to lose in epic fashion. Only then will your punishment be finished. And he's like, what? No, me? No, I ain't losing. And she's like, well, I guess
you better take the L, bud.
She's like, I guess you're gonna stay here then, huh? And he's like, I did pretty good amount of damage last time.
Oh my god.
And the player's like, no, we need him. Wrong. Fucking. They're like, all right. They're like, Barbarian Krug, buddy, just take a dive, just fall, just do it for us. And he's like, I don't know, I kind of like winning.
I kind of like
killing. He's like,
big
please.
Fan of Smash.
They're like, we will give you the dragon weapon. Just take the dive. And he's like, I suppose.
I like how the Fey Queen just basically fixed a boxing match.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good shit. So, players traversing the forest see this, again, random desert, no life survived in this area, this one section that the orcs, took over. Had to see this big like battle tower kind of structure. They basically speak up and they're like, "Yo, we gotta challenge the orc leader. You guys have something of ours." Turns out the orc leader's not there, the chieftain. They speak with this Oni that is kind of running the show as all these orcs are kind of like taking over. And it's basically like, listen, our chieftain has been gone, missing for some time. And basically no challenges can be made until she's returned. The players are like, what the fuck are we, what is we doing here? And while that's going on, Joe and the Shadow Monk see in this big like war camp, basically, that the orcs have a bunch of Feywild civilians like in prison, including the tree guy that they need. So they're like, genius. While these guys are talking to the Oni, we'll sneak in and free all the prisoners. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh God, no.
Yep. So they managed to do so successfully, getting all the prisoners and teleporting. Basically, they're fucking 17th level. They used a lot of teleporting, a lot of invisibility, sneaking prisoners out one by one, and the rest of the party basically seeing what is happening. It's literally like players see the shenanigans going on behind the orc's back, or the Oni, and the Oni is so focused on the players in front of that they don't notice, and neither does any of the other orcs in this camp, because they're all my player's level 17. They can't fucking. These orcs aren't gonna see invisible magic people, teleportations, all that shit. And so finally, when the camp is basically cleared of all the prisoners, that's when the Oni's like, okay, so listen, if you go get our war chief back, or go to the location that our war chief was at last, then if you bring them back, you probably set up a challenge and fight or whatever, and then we'll trade you the Woadwood. Turns around, sees his entire the cage where all the prisoners are at empty, and the players are just booking it now.
I just want to see the blinking outlines.
The Tom and Jerry outlines, the dust clouds.
Yeah.
Nope.
And this is where I wanted to try and do a high level chase from the DMG rules and use that. Chase rules are fun, but they don't work really well for high level.
They don't work, period.
No, you can pull. No, dude, they work really good for low level. That's what I'm saying. I've used them multiple times. Not multiple times. I've used them twice.
Other games that have done it better. I'll just use their systems.
Sure.
I just use Blades in the Dark for chases.
How does in some short phrases? How does that?
It makes
work?
a countdown clock out of it, and it's basically a case of you're filling your clock, the enemy is filling their clock. Whoever finishes it first wins. Short and quick of it, and then stuff you do, if you wanted to throw off your opponent, you could potentially knock away a chunk of their clock. So kind of like a skill challenge, I guess. And if you
okay, yeah.
Why did they need Woodman again?
So the Woodman was the only one who knew where this forge that the Delian Order that I stole from MCDM, they're the ones that know how to make the dragon weapon, but they kind of hid their forge and their secret lair in the Feywild, and only the Woodwood knows the location of it.
See.
So he's the only one. And originally he was going to be the one to guide the players to the forge.
So it doesn't.
Yeah, but that didn't happen yet.
Oh, of course it didn't.
No, because this is when shit's gonna get even worse.
Of course.
So, all while this is going on, every once in a while, the Warlock player, he was getting little bits from his patron being like, "Hey, so I'm gonna call upon you really soon. Be at the ready when I call you." And the Warlock's okay. What does that mean? Patron's just just be ready. Just don't worry about it. All right, cool. Can my friends come? Patron shrugs. All right, we're in.
Shrugs.
Yeah. So during this chase, which involved God, so much nonsense. The Warlock player just said, fuck this shit, and then de-doored to because like how the 5e chase works, you just pick a distance, and then that's how long the chase is. He basically just kept de-dooring until he got to the end. So he's just like, fuck this shit, I'm out. You know. While the rest of the players were off dealing with the orcs who were chasing the rest of the players and all the free prisoners riding on their alley. I think I got the image from Lord of the Rings, the big elephants and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought it was so cool. And so while the Warlock was like literally just waiting on the rest of the party, not helping, the rest of the party was basically just not really doing the chase thing and just kind of just ended up just fighting the orcs and the elephants. Like, what's the magic item? The pigment that lets you like make things or like cut out things.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. Yes, the paint that lets you like draw things into reality. Yeah.
So the Shadow Monk, I think recently, I think in the Elf City, he bought there was a magic shop or whatever, and he found one there and he bought it. So he's like, all right, Matt, I'm gonna paint a bunch of dynamite and I'm gonna put it in the hole, and then when the elephants show up, I'm just gonna blow them the fuck up.
I'm like, a bunch of dynamite.
Like,
that's a me thing to do. I'm so fucking proud.
So he would like go on ahead, paint a dynamite, bury in the hole, move on, and then keep doing that. So like every time the elephant would like move forward, they'd hit the dynamite, blow up, fall prone, and then basically the elephants would spend their turn like trying to get up and move, and then basically hit into another thing of dynamite.
Sounds like some more terrorist action.
A little bit. The gunsmith was just pulling a Legolas, both guns. He's like, can I Fred Flintstone down the trunk like Legolas? But like, pull both my 6 shooters out and just blast the shit out of it in the forehead. I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Let's see, what else? The Barbarian was just, he literally was just suplexing the elephants. Killing the orcs left by right, using the pet. Using the pet elephant as a weapon itself after a while because he has a storm giant belt now.
Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while all this is going on,